Hi, this is Stephanie. I'm going to share in this video about reports in SAM. Certainly, before you manage reports, you're going to have to get data in, so you can check out guides on that. But let's suppose that you have data inside the system. It's time to pull information out. So on the home page, there is a report menu. This is my report menu, and it is unique to me. It's the reports that I've saved to my system. However, new users may not have this or have any reports built quite yet on their report menu, and they can use the drop down to toggle through reports that they are allowed to see. There are also system reports for administrators to access. When when you have reports from your home report menu, you can click on the name to access the report and you'll be taken to the information that's displayed here. So I'm going to give you a tour of what's going on. There's a report name here. The report configuration accordion tells you exactly how this is configured, so you can really compare multiple reports, apples to apples, what tables are on, if there's any filters on the tables, and then if there's any filters to look for things like specific caseworker, specific time period, specific program, etc. In this situation, there are no filters. We're looking at a very open report about families, their cases, their adoptions, and includes their latest home study. We then have an accordion for report stats. This information aggregates the data that we're seeing. As I filter through the report later, you'll see that these report stats change in value. I can also use them to filter on the report. So we're looking at 280 families right now. However, if I click on domestic, it's going to change into the 113 cases that are labeled as domestic. I can click again to open the report back up to default, or click the default link here to do so. The system is going to aggregate in report stats information through the settings that you establish. You can manage settings, the order of the display of these, remove them, or add new ones as you desire. On the report toolbar here at the top gives you some high-level numbers around how many records are actually on this report. There is an advanced search that allows you to search by any column or field that's displayed or available to you from any of the tables pulled onto the report. I can manage how many records we're seeing per page, and I am able to toggle between the pages. And there's quite a few pages to this report at this record count. Then I have the fields or columns that are represented on the report. I am able to click on any of these to sort ascending, descending, filter out blank or those values that are entered to look for empty information. I can do an advanced search by this field, and I can also access the field property screen from these column headings to get more information on how we're using that field in the system. This report has entity records on it. So these are family records. I can click on a record's name and open it in a new window. In this window, filter or exclude by the entity. I am also able to click on values, edit that field value and change what it says from domestic to international, for example, filter by it, or exclude by that field value. So quick ways to do filtering from reports. Where a field has no value presented, we can edit if the record exists for the system or for this particular record. As an example, there is a home study, and some of these families may not have a home study record. Like this one has no home study record, so I can't actually enter it from the report because it just doesn't exist in the site yet. However, I can edit and put information in to the site directly from a report. I can also click and filter and exclude. Let's see. So other things we can do from a report. So they're not just providing information and like data and insights through the report stats. We can also work from a report. So I can edit the report and it'll take me to the report builder view. As a SAM lead or an administrator of the site, I can access this to add new fields, add report stats, make some edits, remove fields, or copy the report. There's a couple of advanced options for viewing modification history, deleting a report, etc. This gives us a preview of how we've got this report set up. The tables on the report, filtering, the sorts, the report stats that we've got, different report options, whether I want to show totals, averages, minimums, and maximums, which will make sense for currency and number-based fields. How many records per page we want to show by default. If we want to even allow users to edit field values, sometimes it's a display only report and say we don't want users to take action from the report, and that's a choice. And whether or not we want to show record counts on the report menu. So a kind of a quick preview of how many records exist on that report. You can also add a report hint, which will help you keep track of who built this report, when they built this report, why they built this report, for what program it's for. It's a really useful tool for keeping up with reports that you use. And we definitely recommend agencies utilize that information. When we open the report again, this hamburger menu up at the top allows us to actually take action on this report. So beyond editing the report and adding report stats, I can narrow the report down and send a bulk email to recipients or other people connected to those records. So maybe I want to send an email to the social workers for a particular group of families. That could be done here. I'm able to print templates and certainly print the report itself. I can also do some data entry in bulk. So updating all records to a new social worker, perhaps, or maybe we're updating a list value and we're moving data around. That could be done here. Could also insert a record like adding a group session or a communication record in bulk. I could add information to the record. I can then do other things with this report like export email addresses, export to Excel, or import data. If I have a simple spreadsheet that's outside of SAM and I want to get data in, that can all be done within the reports as well. So they're really action-packed, lots of information available. If you need support on how to use reports, we're happy to help. Thank you.